Hi, it's Carolyn, the contest queen. I'm here live for my monthly sweepstakes Q&A. What do you want to learn? Well, we have a lot of questions from Jen. Jen sent me a whole page. I love it. And her questions were so good. They are going to apply to everybody. So I love questions like this, especially when people are learning. And it's one of the joys of the hobby because part of the fun is figuring things out, trying new things, having fun, poking around. I just love this aspect of the hobby and that it doesn't stop. It's not boring at all. You're always trying new things. Now, of course, it wouldn't be the contest queen without a giveaway. So, of course, you can win How to Win Cash Cards, Tricks, and More. Or if you would like any of Helene's books, this is the last one I did, Confessions of an 83-Year-Old Sage. The one before that, which was this one, apparently, according to Helene, this is the book she was destined to write. And this is her first book. So the winner will have a choice. And I'm going to do another bonus prize because I've been working on these. Oh, I shouldn't have brought this out. Silly me. I've been working on some fairy giveaways for the convention. And look at all the fairy dust I found. Oh, how fun is that? And then I have these little wee bottles that I bought, like wee little bottles that I'm going to fill with all this other fairy dust I found. It's actually glitter, but it's fairy dust. And then we're going to be putting it on necklaces so that it looks like, yeah, see, I have little fairies. I have a whole bag of fairies. You know, here's one. Here's an example. And I have one necklace that I've already made, which has gotten lost in the box. Oh, here it is. So there's one I've already made with a little fairy and a bottle of fairy dust. So I'm going to be doing those for the convention, but I have extras, so I'm giving them away just because it's fun. And now I'm going to start answering Jen's question. And the winner will get their choice of necklace or book. So I'm going to have two prizes, a book prize and a fairy dust prize. I know, it's so fun, right? So I'm going to start answering Jen's questions. And then if anybody posts questions in the comments, because I see all the comments from YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, I will answer them. So she says, I'm currently reading your book, How to Win Cash and Cars. It mentions Twitter parties. I'm less experienced user of Twitter. Would you be able to elaborate more or demonstrate how to find or join Twitter parties? So I can't really demonstrate doing a live. However, what a Twitter party is an event that a sponsor posts that will usually last about an hour. Some are half an hour, most are an hour. They usually involve bloggers or influencers of some type, usually ones that blend with the sponsor's brand. So for example, if it was a mop company, they might go to someone that does a lot of home-based blogs. If they're a food company, they might go to a blogger that does a lot of cooking. So the brand usually teams up with a blogger that blends with their product or service. It tends to be products. Then what they do is they will set a theme for the party, and there will be a hashtag, and there's usually more than one blogger involved. So there'll be a main blogger, someone that maybe follows the questions. There might be another moderator, someone that does the draws. I've seen parties that have maybe up to 10 bloggers involved. And what those do, the reason they do that is because each blogger then has their own audience. So the party will reach more people. And then, so for example, say Valentine's would just pass. St. Patrick's is coming up. Easter's coming up. Mother's Day's coming up. They usually position it around a theme and a time, and they will post it on a day. So, for example, right now, if they were going to do St. Patrick's Day, they might do it a week before St. Patrick's Day, theme it around St. Patrick's Day, and then the blogger will create, say, 10 questions, and they'll promote the sponsor's products and services all throughout the thing. And how they follow it is they use a specific party hashtag. And so every time you tweet out during that party, you have to tag the sponsor or the blogger or whatever their rules set out, however they're tracking. It's usually the person asking the questions. Then you respond, and for every comment you make, you have to have the hashtag. Because if you don't have the hashtag, you won't be included in the drawing. I know this because I've done Twitter parties, and I've also run campaigns for clients that just use hashtags. And what they use is they use something like WooBox, for example. And what they say is, hey, we're doing a Twitter giveaway. We're using this hashtag. And then the app will go and it will pull every entry with that hashtag. So if your hashtag isn't there, it won't be able to pull it into the draw pool. It's very, very, very important that you use the hashtag on every entry. So that is how a Twitter party works. You generally have to follow other bloggers, or like the only term that's popping into my head is mommy blogger, but that's really passé now because that's what happened when the blogging really got started. But now it's completely changed since then. So what I would do is I would start searching out literally the word Twitter party in Google and see what comes up. The other thing you have to be careful of is who is eligible. So some are only open to the US, some to Canada, other countries. You have to watch to see who they're targeting and who's eligible to enter. Because you don't want to go and spend an hour entering something you can't win. That would just be a waste of time. So that is my description of Twitter parties. I have some blog posts on it, and you just have to start entering them and to just practice. It's the only way you get good at anything with this hobby. Right. So a Twitter party is not a separate group. No, it's not a separate group. Unfortunately, the live stream, I'm not on Zoom. I'm using StreamYard, so I don't have the ability to screen share. So you will want to look for parties. And sometimes sweepstakes aggregates will advertise parties. If you're following fellow contesters, you may see them sharing. Sometimes Twitter, because it used to, way back in the day, used to show things chronologically. Now it's not. Sometimes I'll see tweets from Twitter parties like after they've happened, like the next day. I'll be like, oh, I wanted to go to that and totally forgot. So another tip is if you want to attend one and you see a tweet on it somewhere, I'll put it in your calendar. And a lot of bloggers who do this will say, hey, we're having a Twitter party on this day. And they'll post that on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter and TikTok and wherever, because they won't want everyone to come. So they will post it in as many places as they can. So that will help you find it too. So I hope that answers your question for that one. Okay. So I see other questions being posted. So I'm going to bounce between the list that Jen gave me and questions coming up. Lauren asked, how can I increase my vibration? It took me quite a while to get my vibration back to a very high level. I went through a very long divorce. A lot of people call them a dark night. And I could actually even feel my vibration lower, and I wasn't winning as much. And I knew intuitively that I wasn't going to win as much until I was in a better space mentally. I was always going to win because that's just kind of who I am and what I do. So it would never, the tap wasn't going to be turned off 100%. but it sure slowed down for a while. And I also kind of had the thought pop into my head one day that I'm not winning a trip until I'm really super happy. And I personally do better in relationships than out of relationships. And so when I met George and my vibration went really high because I was super happy, that's when we won our first trip. So it's it really does make a difference. Now, that said, that aside, one thing Helene used to do to increase her vibration is she meditated. And every law of attraction book that I've read lately, the two big ones that I just finished, and actually a third one, Conscious Luck, two of them are on my Kindle, which I don't have in here, so I can't show you. This one, Conscious Luck. I highly recommend The Illusion of Money by Kyle Cease. And the last law of attraction book you'll ever need by, oh my gosh, his name escapes me. He actually has a YouTube channel. So I'll have to post, I'll have to do a blog post about this after. So those books, every single book talks about meditating. And even Helene, her expect it, like she talks about select it, project it, expect it, collect it. Expect it is meditation. So select it is picking a prize, projecting is visualizing, expecting it is getting into that vibration by meditating. And then collecting it, well, that's the easy part. Oh, and Michael, oh my God. Okay. You know what? Someone said Michael Loge. It's not Michael Loge. He is very good at talking about raising your vibration. He talks about vibes. He's so fun. I just love him. I have a YouTube video with him if you want to go and watch that interview with him, and he talks about it. Off the top of my head, I don't recall Michael talking about meditating. Maybe he's just good at, some people, we all have different skill sets. Maybe he doesn't meditate to get his vibe up, or maybe what he does is meditating, but he doesn't call it meditating. What do you do if you're ADHD and can't sit still long enough to meditate? Oh, trust me. Have you not watched my lives? I bounce around like a ping pong ball. I've never been clinically diagnosed, but somebody gave me a book on ADHD once and said, hey, I think you are similar to this. And I read the book and I had like 86 out of the 100 questions. So what I do is you don't have to meditate that long. Abraham Hicks actually has a video. I don't know if I can find it. It talks about only being in that vibration for 17 seconds. So if you can literally meditate for a minute, that's enough. It doesn't have to be, I personally, Dr. Joe Dispenza does these hour-long meditations that I would love to do, but I just don't know if I can do an hour. I really don't see myself meditating for an hour. But so if you just do it for a minute, or whenever you think of it, here's the other trick. If you watch Vishen, who owns Mind Valley, he'll talk about mini meditations. Like one of the things he does when he did an interview with Ken Honda, who wrote Happy Money. And every time he pays, he's grateful that he has the funds to pay for whatever he's using, and that the money's going to circulate and bless more people on his path. So every time he pays for something, he gives gratitude to the money as it goes out. So when you're paying your bills online, say thank you. People sometimes complain about their credit card bills or their phone bills and that, but you got to use a service. I mean, we should be grateful. Like, how lucky are we that I'm really lucky. I get to pay my cell phone bill. I have a cell phone that I use to connect with people, connect with friends. I'm actually using it as my webcam for this live stream. I'm so blessed. Do you feel the difference in the energy of being so blessed that I get to pay my cell phone bill versus, oh my God, my cell phone bill is so high. See that you can just feel the difference. And so approach everything like that. So if you're just doing like little mini blessings all throughout the day, every time you go somewhere or do something or tip somebody or pay for a coffee in the coffee shop and do your bills at the end of the month. And if you're always in it, that'll kind of help keep you steady and you don't have to sit and meditate for an hour. You might actually like the book Happy Money. Okay, so let me go and answer one of Jen's questions. I'll scroll back through the feed. Okay. So Paula says vision board help focus on the end goal. Yes. I'm actually going to talk about my vision boards that I did one last year, one this year, during my special live stream in March, because I always do a lucky St. Patrick's Day live stream. And I've had some very interesting things happen with my vision boards between last year and this year. So of course, it's attracting luck. So I'm going to talk about that during my next live stream. So behind me, I'm actually going to tape the vision boards on my book. That. Okay, let's go up. I don't want to miss anybody's questions. Oh, congratulations. Chrissy said she won a $50 Uber card, a hockey ship, 2 tickets to the NHL Devils game. Oh my God, I love hockey. If you were on TikTok, you saw, or Instagram stories, you saw that I posted. I actually won Toronto Maple Leaf tickets back in December, but I live in an area that had frequent shutdowns. So we couldn't go to the game. And so they rescheduled us for 10 weeks later. I felt so sorry for the marketing team because I used to do event marketing 15 years ago. No more than that, almost 20 years ago now. And it is so much work. And having them have to shuffle all their winners forward and then following all the restrictions, I can't even imagine. It would probably have been like herding cats. So, yeah, just gratitude to all the marketers out there that are dealing with all this. And the games are so fun. Yeah, it's a good party. Oh, yes. Michelle says, looking forward to meeting everyone at the convention. I am so excited. I'm going. Like I said, I'm making all these fairies, and I'm also filling up. In the 2009 convention, I created water bottles for everybody. Well, the host, it was in Manchester, and the hosts of this one found a box because I don't have any left. They found a box of 25. So I said, oh, please keep one for me. And I'm going to do 24 of them, but I'm going to fill them with Canadian treats like chocolate bars and little things. So my daughter has one of the bottles. So I'm going to figure out what I can put in each one. And then I'm going to pre-ship those items down to the US so they can fill the bottles in advance of the convention. So it's going to be fun. Yes, Bill says he's a convention virgin goer. We usually call you newbies. Like a lot of times they'll put like a sticker of a bee on your badge to show that you're a newbie at the conventions. So that's kind of fun. Okay, let's see. There's a Bud Light contest that you require a pin, but you can mail away for one. Have you done that? Not in a recent one, but I have, and they do work. I also have friends. So there was one last summer where I live for Moosehead. They're all kind of run similarly. And she mailed away for, how many did she mail away for? She mailed away for 25 pins. And our postage here is fairly high, so it cost her basically $2 each time because you send a letter and then the return envelope. And she won 50, and so she ended up breaking even. I found mine pin code hunting. I won 100. I have mailed away in the past for pin codes. I haven't done it recently, but you can win from the mail away ones. So do it. I sometimes split my odds depending on what it is. Like for example, the McDonald's ones, when they have them, you can use the app or you can mail in an entry. So I'll do both. I'll order some, things on the app, and then I will also mail in some entries, figuring I'm going to split my odds. It's actually a good strategy to split your odds if you can. Oh, lucky vibes to everyone. Love it. Let's see. Michelle says, my first in-person convention. Oh, it's going to be so fun. Everyone has to come find me and say hi. Oh, Brittany says, it's been a while since I joined a live. I want a 2-night stay at a local hotel and casino with $300 food credit from the radio station 2 weeks ago. Oh my gosh, that's going to be so fun. I love locals. I have to say, when the pandemic hit, that really hurt my hobby because for some reason, and everybody's different, I'm very good at winning the locals. So the year before, in 2019, George and I think every month we were off on a date night to tickets to an event or something that I won. Like we were going out on date nights because I won something to this event, to that event, to this place, to that place. And then some of the wins led to other wins. So one of the wins was tickets to go see the Hootie and the Blowfish and the Bare Naked Ladies double header concert. It was also when our big, we call it the CNE, Canadian National Exhibition. It's basically equivalent to a state fair. It's fantastic. Food buildings, carnival, rides, exhibits, all kinds of things. It's huge. So when you go to a concert during the exhibition, you get free entrance. And then I saw on, it was either Twitter or Instagram, I think it was Twitter, if you go find this particular display, this particular exhibit, you could enter a contest. Of course, I made sure that we had enough time when we went down there to go find it. And it was for one of the local hotels. You had to go, they were the first ones in their gym to have Pelotons. So you had to go down to this display, ride a Peloton for 5 minutes, answer a survey, take a picture in a certain spot, a selfie, and post that. And that was in August. In January, they messaged me and let me know that I won. So I won, I call that a win off a win. And I had won a brand new mattress, like the ones, that hotel chain, I think it's Westin, has their own mattresses. So we won a mattress and I was so happy. We needed a new bed. So that was a win off a win. So if you're winning tickets to events, be sure you scope out the event. You maybe search the hashtag of that event on social. You go early, so you may find other winning opportunities. Like frequently at our summer concerts outside, there's always exhibits, even when the exhibition isn't on, just around where they sell the food and the drink. There's always displays and you can always win things. Another year, maybe it was the year before, I had won, I can't remember what concert I was going to, but I went with my daughter. Maybe it was to see Kelly Clarkson. Yeah, I think it was Kelly Clarkson, and Pentatonics was there. And then one of the local radio stations had a display, and I won Lenny Kravitz tickets, which I gave to my sister. You can win off a win. Tom will also talk about this. Tom from I Can Win does this all the time. When he gave one of the convention speeches, he was winning tickets to the race car, the racing events. And then he would go around and he would enter other contests. And sometimes he would win tickets to another race from a race. A win off a win is the best thing. So I'm going to send you good luck to win at the casino, because you never know. Oh, Bill has a good reminder. It is the last day. A lot of people call it delete day. A lot of sweepstakes end on the last day of the month. And it is a short month, so make sure you get those in. Yes, I should do another manifesting challenge. And I never posted what happened with the last one because it was crazy. So what I posted was I wanted a video to go viral on TikTok. And that didn't happen. I had a video go viral on Rizzle. Now, there's different I'm discovering other competitive vertical video apps to TikTok. There's Clapper that I just signed up for this week, and there's Rizzle. Rizzle, I believe, is out of India. I think it used to be called, somebody told me this. I read it somewhere. It was Rogue, something, I can't remember. And it rebranded, and it's now Rizzle. And I had a video go viral on there, and I have almost 500,000 followers on Rizzle. I only have 20,000 on TikTok. How crazy is that, right? So I need to do another manifesting challenge because I would like to see what happens next time. Right? And I even specifically said TikTok, but clearly the universe had other ideas. Okay, Michelle, I'm going to give you hope. Okay? I haven't talked about this, but so Tom and I are in agreement. He enters for an hour a day. I believe Bill does the same when he has time. Bill's popped up on here. He owns, oh my gosh, why is my brain just sweeping up sweepstakes? And I was going to say power sweepstaking. I have no idea why Ron Miller popped into my head there. Yeah, he was a sweetheart. He passed on in 2018. I've got a dedication to him in my next book. But I haven't had a lot of time to enter. So I've actually said to the universe, I have to stay the contest queen while I'm writing all these books because people aren't going to believe me if I'm not winning anything. Like, why are they going to keep following me if I'm hardly entering because I'm trying to do all this work to teach people? There's only so many hours in a day. I have won 3 prizes since January 1st. I've got almost $6,500 in prizes. So one was a $50 gift card to Sobeys. The second one was one of the booking.com trips from the Super Bowl. And the third one was tickets to go see the new Foo Fighter movie and their CD. So you don't have to win a lot to win a lot. I've only been focusing on prizes that I really want to win or that will come in handy, ones that don't take a lot of time. So for the Super Bowl one, I sat down. I realized it was the only Super Bowl sweepstakes I was eligible to enter. So I sat down and I read the rules. I had the hashtag. I read that I could enter on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So I'm like, I'm splitting my odds. I told George, find me an American station so I have the American commercials. And so I literally sat there for 4 hours. I even barely had time to eat my pizza. Like, we made pizza that we made it ourselves. And I'd start eating and the commercials would come on. And so what you had to do in that particular sweepstake was take pictures of things that could be trips that you see on the screen. And you put it on Facebook, you tag the sponsor, you use the hashtag. Again, see, the hashtags are important because that's how they do the drawings. It's very important to always include the hashtag. Tom talks about the time that he lost on a huge prize because he forgot to put the hashtag. And he was sick to his stomach. But he's made up for it in spades. But still, that one, that's the haunt. But he can use it as a teaching lesson. I'm using it as a teaching lesson. So there's a silver lining to everything. So hashtags are important. So I literally spent 4 hours taking pictures during the commercials, like nonstop. And then while the football game was being played, I was posting, and then the cycle would repeat. And somewhere in there, once in a while, I took a bite of some dinner, but it took me forever to eat it. And the next day I was so disappointed I didn't win anything. And then Tuesday morning, they did have to draw for 100 people and notify and all this. And I do the drawings. I don't know how much work it is. And Tuesday morning, I got a message on Twitter that I had won one of the trips. Now, what's really important about this, and I'm going to talk about it more on Thursday, is I wanted to take my sister and her husband on a belated honeymoon. And I didn't have the money. And in my brain, I was like, okay, I'm going to write this new book. I'm going to sell a lot of books. I'm going to be solvent. And then I will take them on a trip. So I was thinking in my head, I need the money to reach this goal. We need to stop thinking about the money. We don't need the money. Because why did I want the money? I wanted the money to do this. Well, then why not just do that? So I just won that, and now I can just do that, and I didn't need the money. So remember that. Okay. Back to, we're going to bounce around here. A little bit of ADHD. Brittany says she has a Peloton membership and they have many 5-minute meditation classes that are perfect. Well, there you go. So if you have access, and also Angela, I think you were the one that asked that question. Go on YouTube. There are so many short meditations that you can do. Or another thing you can do is I might butcher the pronunciation, so please forgive me. Sofuego frequencies or binaural beats, or is it bilateral beats? And you can just listen to those, best with a headset because they're tuned for either side of your brain. And just listen to that music while you work. And it works on your brain. Or you can put it on while you sleep. It's amazing. Oh, there you go. Renair says, make it a habit before you do something. Okay. That's funny. Bill says, put poutine in those bottles. Yeah. Oh, she says, I can't wait to get to be in the team photo or go for the Zamboni. Yeah, it's fun. That's the other thing I like about this hobby is you get to do things that are not in your everyday life or that you would never be able to come across in your everyday life. Like one of my favorite moments is meeting Michael Bublé. When did I meet Michael Bublé? Ever. Never. Oh, look at this. Claudette said she won coffee twice this month. Yeah, even the little prizes are so handy and helpful. Oh, this is a big one. 30 trips to Punta Cana. Yes. So if Bud Light is giving away 30 trips to Punta Cana, do it. It's so good. Peeps is having a giveaway this month, and I can't find the second egg. It's driving me nuts. Oh, yes, that would make me crazy. Yeah, it helps to be loco to win locos. Well, I call it the good crazies. You can call it loco. Oh, I won a lot of $20 debit cards to drive-thrus. It was a great way to eat out because you couldn't go in. Yeah, and actually, that's another tip. Beverly gave me this tip, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. I'm putting it in the next newsletter. But you're getting a sneak peek at it. She saves up all those cards for her road trip. So her and her husband are coming to the convention. They're driving. She's saving up her hotel cards, her gas cards, her food cards, and they're going to freebie it all the way to the convention and back. Brilliant. Bill has some sarcastic advice. Did you check under the chicken? Yes, so Virgin Radio had a contest, but when you read the rules, it was Canada-wide, all the radio heart stations. The odds were quite low. Yes, that happened. I noticed that trend start literally almost 20 years ago, maybe not 20. 2005, I started seeing it, where you would enter online or call in, and then all the names from all the radio stations across Canada were in one pool, and then one person would win from all of the entries from all of the radio stations all across Canada. So you have to really read the rules. That's called a multi-market giveaway. Oh yeah, sorry, Bill. Sweeping up sweepstakes. Yeah, go check him out on YouTube. So congratulations, $100 gift card and a cookbook. I love cookbooks. You can't see, but the bottom shelf of this entire unit in my office is cookbooks. I love cookbooks. I had to weed them out when I moved in. I think I got rid of half of them. And then, so when I got divorced, I left half of them. And then when I moved here, I got rid of some more, but I still love my cookbooks. Oh, iHeartRadio has a giveaway in Las Vegas with Michael Bublé. So if you guys like Bublé, where's the convention? Toronto. No, it's in Manchester, New Hampshire. If you go to my website and click on resources and click on meet fellow sweepers, the convention information is there. I believe maybe Bill can put in the link in the chat for me. Thanks, Bill. I believe it's in NH Vision 20. I don't know. It's something about New Hampshire and Vision 2020 because they were supposed to have it in 2020. We know what happened. It went virtual. So they got to do it again. And this time they're calling it Double Vision, but they're just using the same website they had last time because, why build a new one? So it's in Manchester, New Hampshire in July. It's from the 6th to the 10th. Oh, thanks, Bill. There's the New Hampshire 2020 vision. And if you go, the words 2020 are like it's crossed out a bit and it says double vision on it because it was supposed to be like 2020 vision. Now it's double vision because they're doing it again. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's get back to Jen's questions. I have not personally used TikTok yet. Oh my gosh, it's so addictive. In your opinion, how do these benefit sweepstakes prizes compare to the cost, possibly more security vulnerabilities compared to other apps? Okay, what are some tips for sourcing TikTok contests? Okay, so one, there's smaller prizes, but all the ones that I have entered have been 1,000 and up. So the prizes are bigger because they want people to come to TikTok. Two, more security vulnerabilities. Yeah, I don't think so. I think they're all insecure. I'm not going to worry about that. If you're on the internet, you're on the internet. At this point, I don't know if it really matters. And tips for sourcing TikTok contests. One, I did I tweet out every TikTok contest I find, I put on Twitter. So be sure to follow me on Twitter and you can just go down my feed. Thanks. Bill put the link to my website where I have convention information. And sadly, I used to have convention information because there used to be ones in minis in Hershey. There's been some in Florida. There was some minis in Detroit, and they're all gone. Now there's only national left. So if you want to meet people in the meantime, come to my virtual contest club meetings. The next one's March 10th. How do you see sweepstakes contests evolving in the future? I see it almost going back to the way it used to be. So back in the day, it was contest, not sweepstakes. So if you watch the movie or read the book, The Prize Winner of Defiance, Ohio, it's a great example of contesting. The subtitle of the book was How to Win.
Okay, here's what I found online.
How to win sweepstakes how to feed 10 kids on 25 words or less. So she basically entered contests and entered jingles, and they were all judged. And there were a lot of work, so hardly anybody entered. Then companies, due to costs, sweepstakes were cheaper to run and attracted more entries. So not rocket science from a marketing business perspective, you move over to sweepstakes. Well, now that social media has really ingrained itself in our society, I think you're going to see more companies doing what they call CGM, consumer generated media, it's basically back to contests. And I think we're going to see more and more contests, especially video, coming in. However, companies still want your data. They're not going to get your, because they don't own the apps. Okay, so I've told clients, this from a marketing perspective, I've told clients, if Facebook disappears tomorrow, how are you going to reach people? The only data a company owns is their mailing list. So their objective out of all the social channels is to always get you to sign up for the newsletter. Because that way, if literally all the social channels disappear tomorrow, they can still contact you and promote their products and services. Otherwise, they're dead in the water. So the most valuable thing a company owns is your name and email address. And that's why a lot of companies refuse to sell their data, and they protect their mailing list at all costs because they don't want to give up that data. That it costs them a lot of money to get you to sign up for that, and they're not going to sell it. Okay, so that's that's how I see it. But at the rapid pace it's changing. Like if you asked me that 10 years ago, Facebook was just kind of getting started. Vertical video contests on TikTok, what? Like that wasn't even a thing. We didn't have any idea. So there might be something in 10 years. I don't know. Have more of your win comes from locals, or have you just had as much success with a national or wider scope? I would say I get more wins from local, but my biggies are always national. So a lot of little ones, a couple of big ones. Like, I don't know. How do you want to weigh it? Dollar value, cost. No. And I'll tell you why. Because I actually, the reason people use King Sumo. Okay, so Melinda wants to know, King Sumo sweepstakes a waste of time? The answer is no. And I'll tell you why people use King Sumo. Because AppSumo is a service, and you can get great apps to help your business very inexpensively. I just got a couple of freebie ones, actually, and a low-cost one this week. So I paid the $99 for the year for the AppSumo premium membership. That gives me discounts on any products I buy. It gives me access to freebies and access to programs that other people don't have access to. One of the things you get being an AppSumo premium member is you get King Sumo free. So as a business, if I have a sweepstakes marketing app available to me to run giveaways free of charge versus paying WooBox or one of the other programs like ShortStack or Gleam, if I could use King Sumo for free as part of my AppSumo membership, why wouldn't I just use that one versus paying for another program? So it's going to be smaller businesses. You're not going to see King Sumo sweepstakes from, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Frito-Lay, Pepsi, Frito-Lay, Kraft, Procter & Gamble. They have their own proprietary things, or they pay big agencies to run them for them. They're not using King Sumo. King Sumo is going to be companies like my size or a little bit bigger that have bought AppSumo, and that's why. So their prices are going to be smaller, but your odds winning might be better because they're smaller companies. Oh, Bill said the same thing. I used King Sumo once for a giveaway I held. As Carolyn said, it's not a waste of time. So there you go. Okay. If you enjoy a particular sweepstakes from a major brand, do you set reminders to look for something similar next year, or do the brands like to mix things up so it's not worth it? Yeah, I never remind myself to look. There are so many sweepstakes going on at any given time. You physically can't enter all of them, let alone remember to enter something next year. Maybe in the past, when there's only a handful of sweepstakes a year, or a newsletter, people used to mail out the newsletter and Like you'd get a physical newsletter with all the sweepstakes in it in the mail, and then you'd walk around the grocery store looking for the entry blanks. That's not how it happens anymore. There's so many. And sometimes companies don't run the same ones year after year because technology changes and their budgets change and how they're spending them. Like in the past, like Kraft used to run one big giveaway. And I remember finding ads in magazines. I've tweeted some of these out or put them on Facebook. You might find pictures of them where, they were giving away, 5 vans and 50 TVs and all these microwaves and things that were modern. Right. And that was one giveaway. And now what'll happen is they'll have that same budget and they'll give away one car and they'll give away different things on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and they'll split the budget over different areas and they will do different things. So they would take a budget, they would run a promotion for 6 months, and now they're going to do 6 months worth of promotions across 5 channels. So the dollar value of the prizes comes down and things are changing. And then also the pandemic changed a lot. So companies that would always host giveaways to, say, the Super Bowl every year, when the Super Bowl opportunity disappeared, they're like, okay, now what are we going to give away? They had to pivot. Everybody pivots. Now people are ready to pivot. In addition to the RoboForm and browser methods of tracking for entries, do you use any sort of calendar software? No, I only use RoboForm. That's it for me. Lauren wants to know, do you enter Instagram giveaways many times with many entries or only one time? Depends on the rules. Most of the time when they say unlimited, and I'll sit there and I'll tag, depending on the prize, I'll tag 5 people in my club, or I have some other sweepstakes friends, I might tag 10 people. If I really like the prize, I might tag 15, and then I'm out. And I do it one time. So if I win, I win. Instagram, you could spend all day on Instagram giveaways and not enter anything else. And I know sometimes for people, there's like a $20 prize and they'll tag 100 people. I'm like, ooh, you really need to value the value of the prize versus the effort being put in. If they're giving away a trip on Instagram, for example, I would spend way more time on that giveaway than I would on some small prize. That's a big part of his hobby, is balancing your time and energy versus value of prize. Good tip. If you like cookbooks, Leaks Culinary gives those away. Yes, and I actually have talked to David in the past because at one point people were reporting him as spammy, saying he didn't actually give the prizes away. And I've had long conversations with David, and he's wonderful. And yes, he does give away all his prizes. Oh, and his recipes, divine. I've made some of them. Just a tip. Do you know of any resources that showcases some winning contest entries from past sponsors? My interest would be to compare them with the judging criteria, the official rules for learning purposes. Here's the problem. Companies don't do what I call back-end marketing as often as they should. They'll host a giveaway and they won't showcase the winners. And then people go, well, those things are a scam. Nobody ever wins. Well, they don't think anybody wins because they never see any winners. Companies are really dropping the ball on this. They should be showcasing the winners. They should show that people win their giveaways. One, if you're always looking for something to post on social, it would give you something to post on social. 2, it would again give credibility to your promotions. And then 3, it would add, some more believability. Right? So I just received a $100 gift card to Family Dollar from Mexico. I could sure use that. Oh, nice prize. Oh, Aurora said, she won a cookbook. Oh, sorry, wrong. I won a cookbook. Yeah, cookbooks are great. One of my favorites is I have a signed Jamie Oliver cookbook. That's actually one of my. I love watching him, the Naked Chef. Best, like so many good recipes. And her last question. Oh, she asked. She said she can't attend this live, but yeah, these are always available on demand after, and you can watch it on Facebook or YouTube anytime. And sometimes in my newsletter, I'll post the YouTube link so you can find it. But you can just subscribe to my channel. Oh, okay. Here's, if I enter after 10 p.m. Pacific Coast time, are my entries more prone to win when most of the other time zones are asleep? Some people do believe that. There is one of my sweepstaking friends out in Alberta, which is mountain time. Yeah, Pacific, Mountain, Central, Eastern, Atlantic. So she's mountain time. And because she's doesn't sleep at night, so now she's up later than most of us in the East Coast, and she's up in the middle of the night. She wins so many instant prizes. It's ridiculous. Because, yeah, she's up in the middle of the night. So, and I've even talked about doing this. If you're not a night owl, I'm not a night owl. If you get up in the middle of the night to go to the washroom, take your phone with you to sweepstakes and go back to bed, because you're probably going to hit an instant. I have done that in the past. Lately, I haven't been getting up at night, so I'm not entering. And then I enter in the day, and I'm like, I don't win any of these instants. It's because I'm not up at like 3 a.m. And I have done that in the past. There was, was it 2019? Pepsi was giving away a jacket an hour. So I saved up all my PIN codes, and I set my alarm for like 5 to 2. I had a gut feeling 2 to 3 in the morning was my intuitive hit. So I set my alarm for 1:55, and I got up and I came into the office and I sat with all my codes, and I entered one after another. And then I got through 20 of them. I still hadn't won. And it said, you've reached your entry limit. And I'm like, no. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I'll enter for George. Took another batch of codes and I started entering them. And after about 5, I won a jacket. I was so happy. So technically he won the jacket, but I did all the work. But yeah, I win in the middle of the night. Oh, sleep entering. When I'm sleeping. You know what? One time, so I had speed dial, like all the radio stations, when we had a landline, and Lane was, she was little. So I'm lying in bed and I turn the radio on, the alarm went off. I turn on the radio. They were giving away tickets to go see Duran Duran. I literally, and I'll tell you a story. Kathy Partak, I have some news about her too. So I'm lying in bed and I hear I put the radio on and I hear them do the cue to call in. So I grab the phone, I hit the redial or the speed dial, and it rings, and I won the tickets. I'm half asleep and I'm trying to pull myself. You know, when you're in that, they call it the hypnagogic state where you're like half asleep, half awake. And my brain's going, wake up, you're on the radio. Wake up, you're on the radio. And they're like, you're really quiet. And the only thing I could think of was, the baby's asleep and I'm not waking her up. But if I could, I would scream. But I was like, so they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, we get it. We don't want to wake the baby. But I said, trust me, I'm screaming inside. And they're like, okay. But part of me still like, wake up. Because I sounded like so groggy. And the only excuse I could come up with was I was trying not to wake the baby. And it's true. I didn't want to wake the baby because, that's not a good idea when they're that little and I was so tired. But and then Kathy Partak tells a story. I don't know if she told it on I interviewed her once on a podcast when I had a podcast before they were popular. And I wish I had downloaded all of those shows before I lost access to them, but I didn't. Damn. Anyway, Kathy says one time she liked to leave her radio on while she slept. Like I used to put mine on a timer so it would time out, but she would just leave it on. She woke up and her phone was like knocked onto the floor and off the cradle. And she hung it back on. And then she gets a call the next day from the radio station, apparently, to come pick up her tickets. Apparently, in the middle of the night, while she was sound asleep, in her brain, she heard the cue to call in. She called the radio station. She won the tickets. I guess she dropped the phone when she put it down. And she does not remember any of it. So she literally won in her sleep. Like Kathy. Now, Kathy, check my newsletter tomorrow. Kathy is hosting St. Patrick's Day giveaway on TikTok. And she's giving away prizes like almost every day between like March 5th and March 17th. I think she said she has 10 prizes over 17 days. So some will be over 2 days. And I'll put a link to her TikTok. And it's going to be open to Canada and the US because the prizes are easily mailable. And they're so cute and they're all lucky. So I'm going to be putting a link in. And you have to go and enter. It's going to be so fun. I'm going to blog about it too. So yeah, you got to check out Kathy on TikTok. She's very funny. But she's got a blog. I don't know if she still blogs very frequently. I haven't checked her blog in a while. I just follow her on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. And she posts, her blog used to be called Intentional Winning. And she was so good at just manifesting prizes. So, okay, so you know what to do. Leave any comment. This is open for a while, so you can win. And then the winner is going to get a choice of fairy necklace because I haven't made them all up yet. So the winner will get to pick. That'll be fun. And the winner also gets to pick which book they want. So that's another fun thing. I love mailing this stuff out. Did I forget anything? And I got everybody's questions. I don't see any new comments. I know, I love this. I got to do this more. So tune in on the 17th because I'm going to have my special St. Patty's Day. Now, normally, I sit and drink Baileys while I do this. But I'm really following WW. So I am going to do, I'm going to drink Irish breakfast tea instead. Because I'm really doing well this year. Following it and letting go of all the COVID weight, the COVID-19. If it's not 19, it's the pounds that he gained because he sat home baking banana bread. So I'm doing really good. And the reason I like Irish breakfast tea, I don't know if anybody saw the TikTok. Do they have diet Baileys? Yeah, sadly, no. And actually, they have special flavors sometimes. Like I think they had an almond one, and I saw at one point and I bought a bottle. They had a strawberry one. Oh, it was so good. But yeah, I'm not going to do that this year. The reason I really cherish Irish breakfast tea is when I went to Texas and spent 4 days with Helene Hadsel. She used this house was part of a conference center that she had. Like she had a whole huge piece of land. There was outer buildings and resorts and places people would stay, and like it was huge. But she still had the breakfast bar, the coffee bar all set up. And one of the things she had on the coffee bar, because it was convenient when guests came over, it was all set up. She never took it down. She had Irish breakfast tea on it, and I'd never had Irish breakfast tea. So I drank Irish breakfast tea the whole time I visited Helene. And so every time I have Irish breakfast tea, I think of her. So appropriate for St. Patty's, I am going to have Irish breakfast tea. Because last year I went and got a Shamrock Shake from McDonald's and drank Baileys. Yeah, we're not doing that this year. I'm going to be good. And maybe make some nice Irish stew for dinner. And then come on here and do an Irish breakfast tea. And I'm going to talk about all things lucky. So I do discuss things lucky, and I have lucky prizes to give out. So not my usual giveaways. I have other giveaways similar to Kathy, which she's going to be posting. I have prizes, lucky prizes, and they're so fun. So until next time. And stay tuned to the Good Vibration Sweepstakes Club because I will schedule. I'm going to look at my calendar this month and I'm going to pick a time and we're going to do another Good Vibrations challenge. I might even do a whole video on it in the group. So good luck and let me know what you want to win.